Since we're recording, that means we are live. So I need you guys' phones away, please, especially in the back where I can't see you while I am instructing. I just need a little bit of your time today to talk about the syllabus. It's going to be all relevant things to how you get good grades in this class. My late work policy especially are the big ones. If you're in my graphic design class, you've already heard this. It's a very similar syllabus, but some differences for future ready. Okay, so I see there's about 22 of us in the Zoom room. Let me see who all here. I'm pretty good on your names so far, on your names to faces at least. Leo's here, Dylan, Ethan's Colin, where you at? Okay, that's what I thought. Karen, Leo, Caden. Yeah, cool. Both Cadens are here. Perfect. Cassie's here, Brinley's here, Lindsay, Jack, Abby, where are you sitting? Okay, that's what I thought. Isaac's not here. Kate. There you are. Okay, cool. Kayla, Omar, Crow, Will. Where's Will? Okay, there you are. Sweet. And James. Okay, cool. Thank you. All right, so let's go over your syllabus. In order to get to your syllabus, which does have a way for you and your parents or your guardians to go over it so that we're all on the same page here. If you go to modules for week 1, it is right down here, the Blakeney for Real syllabus 2324.doc right here. I'm not going to read you the whole thing because I know you guys are good readers, but I do want to focus on and break down some of the things that are relevant to the late work policy and the grading policies. Jack, put your phone away, please. Thank you. For this course, right? Materials, none extra are required. We have the course objectives, descriptions, all that fun stuff. But that's the things that we're actually going to understand while we're doing them. So I don't think I really need to outline them at this point. Your materials required, all you need is a computer, whether that's your school computer or your personal computer. But as a reminder, the tech team cannot fix or resolve personal computers. They can only service the school devices. It doesn't hurt to have a notebook or some writing utensils just in case. Majority of our stuff is going to be online. Kate, put your phone away, please. Thank you. Majority of our stuff is going to be online. But if you want to have a place to take notes or kind of jot your ideas, that helps too. And access to the internet will be something that's provided by the school. So if you need that accommodation, you'll have to chat with me individually. But I think we're good on that one for the most part. Okay, so couple policies. This is a CTE course focused on career skills and professionalism, especially on the job interview skills, resume skills, stuff like that. So that's kind of the overlying theme with the course. Leo, can you put your phone away, please, for just a second? Thank you. You want to treat this classroom like your work environment where you practice your work and the stuff that you're doing, right? You want to be obviously respectful of your fellow students who are technically your coworkers. This is pulled from graphic design, so it's similar. Theirs is more like job oriented. Ours is a little bit more like workshop or class, like college class oriented. But this stuff still applies. For you need to be respectful of your nearby students, any student in the room. You need to be respectful of me and the workspace that we share, which is the office. Okay. When we're live, I expect your eyes and ears on your screen or the projector, whichever you're choosing to follow along with my teaching. And questions are encouraged. You're going to hear me say a lot, there is no such thing as a stupid question. I do actually believe that. The stupidest question is the one that you don't ask because you're afraid to ask it. The only way you can improve is by asking and trying, right? So I'm a big proponent of making an effort is a lot better than doing it right perfectly. I myself am a perfectionist, so this is something that I'm having a hard time unlearning. But if I can emphasize that with you guys, then I think we'll all be better off. That done is better than perfect is kind of another overlying theme with this course. All right, talk about honesty, academic honesty. Cheating obviously will not be tolerated. The school policies that exist already apply in full. If you are caught copying somebody else's work, you will receive a 0 on that assignment or that quiz. Looking at information is great. Brainstorming with other people is great. And having friends teach you is great. But those are not cheating. Those are just you using or not using. But the collaboration, the teaching, the educational stuff is happening. So that doesn't count as cheating. Violations, however, will be reported to your appropriate administrator. And then all content that you create, text, images, whatever, must be school appropriate. They will net you a 0 on the assignment if they're not. I don't expect that being a problem, but it is something I want to make clear. And AI generated results will not be accepted nor tolerated. You must be the one creating your work. I said artworks, but I mean works. Okay, on those two, before we get into late work and grading, does anybody have any questions on some of the course policies? All right, I will press forward. Okay, late work. So your work is due by the due date posted. That is usually going to be Friday at midnight. Fridays at midnight. I like to structure my classes by teaching in the first half. The middle half, or our block days, we do a lot of like workshops or like small assignments, collaborative stuff. And then it's always going to be due on Fridays unless there isn't a Friday to have it be due on. I don't have things due over breaks. So that what if we're doing an assignment and we have a break coming up, like for example, midwinter break, instead of things being due on that Friday the 16th, you won't have a new assignment until March 1st after that, if we're looking at the date. So I just mean I don't assign stuff to be due over breaks. Since this is what is called a project-based class, it is important that you keep up with the work due because it is project-based. There's no official homework, there's no official tests, but the projects that you complete will serve as both of those things for this class. Okay, so your late assignments, whether that is 5 minutes late or 2 weeks late, will incur a 30% late penalty. So that means if you turn an assignment in at 12:01 and it was due at 11:59, the max that you can get on that is a 70%. This is adjusted per IEP and 504 accommodations. So if you, I'm aware of those and I'm making those adjustments, but late assignments automatically take a 30% late penalty. However, you can turn in late assignments within these two windows, which is where the quarter and the semester, the final grades are sectioned off. So like, for example, all of our work that we're doing up until April 15th can be turned in up to that day, but anything after April 15th will not be accepted and will become a 0. So like, for example, if you, let's say we're doing an assignment in a week or two and you want to turn it in on April 13th, you still can because we're in that window. We're in the Q3 window. The max you can get is a 70%, but you can still turn it in, but you cannot turn it in on April 16th. At that point, it's a 0 and it is not accepted because it is outside the window of accepted late work. Does that make sense? I hope that's clear. Okay, does anybody have any questions on that? These are your two main windows for when late work will be accepted. Any work assigned before the 15th will be accepted up until then. Then any work assigned before the June 7th will be accepted until then. But after these, no late work will be accepted. And it's an automatic 0. We cannot turn it in after that. Okay, everybody's clear on that? I'm going to press forward. Okay, seating charts, attendance policies, because this is a project-based class and because this is a very collaborative class, it's important that you guys are here to complete your projects, and the class does move quickly and your attendance is not graded, but it is mandatory to be here, and it's essential for you to do well. Seating charts, I'm thinking we'll rotate every 4 to 6 weeks so that you guys have a chance to interact with a variety of classmates in here and collaborate in multiple different ways, and so that it doesn't get too stale with your current spot. For the days that you miss, you'll be given appropriate time to catch up and turn in projects or assignments up to 2 weeks after class missed for full credit. You and I will have to discuss that so that I have it on record and I don't forget when I'm grading. But you are provided the amount of days you've missed to turn your assignments in for full credit. We just use the Skyline attendance and tardy policies. They're in the handbook if you need a refresher. This course is broken down into 4 main categories of assignments. This is the grading section now. All right, 10% of your grades participation. That's stuff like discussion boards or extra credit that I provide, any extra things that are participatory. Those are 10% of your grade. 30% of your grade are assignments. Those are what are also kind of called your formative assessments. Those are things that are accomplishing small pieces of the general overarching concept that we're covering. And you can practice the general overarching concept in your projects. Projects are worth 50% of your grade. Those are considered your summatives, which are comprehensive demonstrations of whatever skills we are outlining. And then 10% of your grade is your final exam, which is a project and a reflection. We'll talk more about that as it gets closer. Here's your grade breakdowns by percentage. I don't do the pluses, so you have a little bit more wiggle room to get into that A territory if that's what you're shooting for, but you're more forgiving in the B and C territory through D and F as well. Anything less than a 59% is considered an F, and you and I will be chatting if we ever hit that point. I don't anticipate that we will. So grades are your responsibility. As much as I would love to check in with you guys all the time, that would unfortunately eat up all of our teaching. So if you are concerned about your grades, you have to come to me, and we have to have a conversation so that we can come up with a plan and go from there. I unfortunately do not. There's only one of me, and there's like 200 of you. So I wish I could help individually, but if you need extra stuff, you have to come to me so that I can actually help you out with something. Okay. I don't think this is actually a dual credit because this is also lifted from graphic design. So just ignore this part for now. Your guys' responsibility is to go over this form on the QR code with your parents or your guardians so that you have everyone's on board with what we're doing in this class. And I have some extra information to provide the best future-ready learning experience for you. And that's what that form is going to be. Let's try to finish those by Monday. So I'll go in the participation category of grades. There is some spots for your guardians. So if you want to do it with them. Yeah, that's the basic gist of what I'm paperwork expecting out of Future Ready. Does anybody have any questions on what we've covered or what I've gone over so far? Questions about the late work policy? Questions about the grade ranges? Grade breakdowns? I know those are the big ones that students are usually concerned with, and parents too, especially. Okay, if we're all good, then I will show you the remainder of your agenda here. Oh, that's my dashboard. The remainder of the day is dedicated to work time, just catching up on your MBTI, your mood board, or your scavenger hunt assignments. Those are the big three for this course, for this week. If you've completed all three of those, then you're in a great spot. You have the rest of this time is yours. But those three things are due at midnight tonight. We go to assignments real quick. Yep. So those three things are due. I need to attach the scavenger hunt to an assignment, but those three are due this evening. And then the seating charts will start on Monday. Real quick note on the seating charts. If there's something that you would like me to consider for your chart, please Canvas message me so that I can take that into account while I build these over the weekend. Also over the weekend, I'm going to be taking the submitted mood boards. Those of you who are okay with me printing them, and I'm going to be printing them so we can start hanging them up in the class on Monday and get into our actual Future Ready stuff. Okay, sorry. I know that was a lot of me yakking again. I'm trying not to do that all the time because I know it's boring for everybody. And but it is important that we get it out of the way so we can actually start doing some more fun stuff. Does anybody have any questions for the good of the order? Kaden, what's up?
Are we getting syllabus passed out to sign?
It's digital. You use the QR code to sign. But I can print you one if you would like a printed one.
Okay.
Would anybody else like a printed syllabus? I can get you one of those. Okay, no worries. All right, so I'm going to close up the Zoom room. The rest of this time is yours to either finish up the activities from the week or to dedicate to other courses. Other than that, just have a good Friday. Thank you guys for listening. I really appreciate it. And we are off the air.